Hanyai yellow hack to rather the system way. Bakala. Lisosi Paplawa Limate, so to see the Subakizuki again. My friends and my brother and sister, today I want to come and talk to read for you about the Matthew chapter 13, verse 22. Talk about here the one who received the seed, therefore among the thorn is the man who heard the word, but the worry of his life and the um, deceitfulness of wealth joke is make is unfaithful. This meaning about the here is the wealth. What is that that you are the rich, and then you can stay, that easily about like that. But I want to read for you about the related verse here. This verse is talk about we talk about different thing here. Okay, when I think about in my that this is a problem about that here Jesus see with the rich man, and then the rich man want to go to the heaven, and then he needed eternal life, he want eternal life, right? But he cannot hold in something important. I want to read for you here is the above. Pain packet mala pakle pane thileta to shit a moile pain. Limate a settled to see the sabukisiki quevera dilo. Packet mala not up with a lot of sita meklani, me pola and now who tagalu, do tabayo ba haro itaha, do talota we baharo tatu tato the pane. Cable qui ta aglini do at the thought of however. Ta aglu cable wera bake the atabayo do atatu tato ho awene pagiteta mala a thought over the thiba. Pagitema akamak sayo ataman tenyoma mono. Awene pagiteo dinito. Here is the another related verse is the Matthew chapter 19 verse 23 talk about here. That Jesus says to his disciple, I tell you the truth, it is hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. It is hard. Hi. Back on. That's okay, my friends. I'm not sure about that you talking. Okay. Pero pagkita hi. Okay. Lisa, hi. Lara, hi. I want to here is the Jesus talk about that the rich man not the problem to the rich man go to the kingdom of heaven. This is a very hard because he is worthy, and he has them everything he need. Okay, maybe he can stay and has the happiness, right? Not just like poor people. Pero pagkatete malata matane pagkale kwa pay to ship pulo paganyo clone katudala manuti mele. Matthew chapter 19 verse 23 talk about here. Le matasar si qui a sapo kisitane tunur suji susi a playbo yesiba teba tutoto e le patu pato kalenusu muku abamune pagkatete ambamu pu kodomano. Letano kura pagkatete mala patu pato kalenula you are abamu pu kodomano. Okay? Rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Okay? It is hard, very hard. You know that? This is exactly my friend. Hi, Lara. Today's lesson is I want to talk about the one who received the seed that's felt among. This is mean in the field between, fell to him, but he cannot get it. This is a very important thing. A second is that the same thing here, Mark chapter 10 verse 23 talk about the same thing here. I want to read for you little bit here. 23. Jesus looked around and said to his disciple, how hard it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. This is meaning about that the rich man cannot not easy enter the kingdom of God. They're not easy because Jesus know about that very hard to them. Okay. Letan ko patinya sekolah petamu pune. Awani meta temile patu patu adir pakalen suya bamu pune. Tenyo sekolah le tak tu sekolo. Pene pakle kuala le mako so to see a sapo. Kisitani deva palomne timile. Yesu quarteri we dot seba aple bo patu patu palen suya bamu pune. Kodo malo awani patu patu the party kalene see you about pune ko no cobra awati the party taba yubabo no blur a eat a ha no picking up a cake or the hammy awati the party patala eat a ha do a poorly jula about mawe about 11 the sukumote agasawa sukumoko poli no awani tai ko wasiko meme ba puta kwada le money a kalene le yabamu cosicolo. But thing yala lisosi atapafla. We know about the in the Bible talk about the story, the rich man coming to Jesus and ask for, ask something, right? And the teacher, what good thing must I do to get eternal life? This is the rich man asked for the Jesus. He called teacher, right? But here is the why do you ask me about that? What is good? Jesus replied, there is only one who is good. Okay, you know that this means nobody good in the world, including Jesus himself. Talk about nobody good, but only God's good. Okay, here is that he want to be go to the okay. Go to enter the internalize, okay, enter the life, obey the command. You know that you need you want to internalize, you should be obey the gospel. Here is that the young man is very proud of himself, and then he talk about I obey everything when I am young. He obey everything, not adultery, okay, not stealing, not false testimony, and then not adultery. He don't do anything this mean, but Jesus taught him only one thing. Okay, you got only one leg, selling your property and then selling your property and then giving to the poor. This is a very big deal. That's he cannot giving up this his property. That. Let us look at Pathinya Sikola Kasaisu ne pa tasa hati kwara no do pani no awesi shewra la nama sala queen and tapotali color la hitene. Awen mama loporo eboma ebowa no matida ba hudaba utakabli planeta mama sikoba do bogitete mala you no monopane mama siko obey okay honor your mother and father he do too everything he did but only just one thing, no? Ode tell me the salaquin taputalin takota kele awani kodo masikolo. Here is the related verse I want to read for you, and Luke chapter 18, verse 24 talk about. Paine pakle pakwada liluka asero to see ho asapo paine 24. Kisiluini tebra. Jesus looked at him and said, this is a they the Matthew, Luke, John, their written is the difference opinion. That this is the meaning about here. Jesus looked at him and said, how hard it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. How hard, the very hard, that the rich man, the rich people enter the kingdom of God. It's very hard, this one. Let us look at Pathinya Sikola, Kasai Sukwa or David Siveda, no? when a quarter mile, patu patokala no su, you are abominable, pacoroma, when a Pacassi or dinner to lo, bamno cola penny, Pactera mala, kissy luni, Tevadale, penny, Cassasu, there are a thought, Yesu, tea do, see where da, patu at all, and so you are abominable, cordomalo, where at all at that mano, wisdom. Hi. Paine pakitete mala wisuden. Pero pakitete mala target kai agi klusigolo. Do pero I want to read for you the related verse the First Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 talk about here a little bit. Verse 9, chapter 6 verse 9. People who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many manner into ruin and destruction. This is who want to be rich. Okay. Temptation, trap, okay. Many foolish and the harmful disasters and the plunger man into ruins and the destruction. A lot of things. Okay, very, very dangerous. This is it. Here is the I read for you again. First Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 talk about people who want to get rich fall into temptation and trust and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunger man into ruins and destruction. This is a lot of things. Okay. But then I'm Pasukumo Quamon, Lobatamo Pune, away in Mitala, Timothy, a sado who a sapo Corala, a super queenie, Devada Dilo, a super queenie. Meme Poila attack a gay part to a torpani, Lobala Talibaso, do ta appli the core, did I talibaso ta appli the core? Panero Pathinya la ta appli the core, do the qui ta amila at the giba, ta quita amila at the giba, Debra Panimano, do ma utalo, an pane, ane malo, blur poacanyola, tahagu hago, do tahamu hama apulo, malo blur wanyo, do pagteta mala, ta qui ta ami, do kero ta plitako, do kera le ta libeso, penny bacalo patu patron, theatre atamu ogele, atahotaga, close sicolo. Pagdeta mala target kind. Okay, maybe didn't all pagle quala. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 10 talk about here. Paini pagdeta mala 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 10 talk about here a little bit. For Demas, because he loved his word, has deserted me, and he gone to Thessalonica. Christian has gone to Claudian and Titu to Damatia. Panera Pathinya a weather the pani dera a way evera hoko, Cora dinamano, Cora evera hoko. They love the war. Penny Bugjetema, Penny Siko Pathinya. Penny Bucklequape, Agiri, Sodima, Etala, a eat a hat, Tatado, Sodimani, a Etala, a eat a hat, Dera Penamano. It Hatado, Hatada, Ya, Lesu, Thessaloni, Do, So, Griski, Su, Kalati, Do, Su, Titu, Suda, Lamatilo, no? Lamatilo, Panero Pagiteta Mala, Sodima, ne, away Everata la Hoko, what had Dawada, Sopolu, Davida Dinamano, away ne Quena, so Timothy, Podagala, away Pagitema, Eta to Tato, that Evera Hoko, Ta Pagitema, Atabatha, Hotaran, away hard or dinner. But then my last one is the throne is the man who hears the word. Paine Bagdetta Mala, Awani Pathinia Sicolo, Tapita Matami, Lepacropatu Pathan, and Mitatami Sicolo. Awani Bagdetta Mala Tasita me, Lord Davida, Le Pala Anahu Takalu, Do Bagdetta Matasita me, Cable, okay, Grunero. Basana Kiro Patina Lisosi Tet Tola, Peedo Lete or Takiwe Sicolo. Kowara we Pagdana we Yermia Paine Sara Lui a suppo 30 Deva Padile. Jeremiah chapter 4, so verse 3 talk about here. This is what the Lord said to the men of Judah and to Jerusalem. Break up your upload ground and do not sow among thorns. Break up your upload grounds and do not sow among them. Pagdana mala, paini, pagdana mala tasita me. Tu lo tasita me. Pay basana kiro, talathon sidane, pagdeti or dile, paini pagate vidala, lay, will me a suddenly a support 30 dividadile. Agidi yuasila, Juda, do Jerusalem, Paganyon di te talk. Tu hokula abata te o te ki do puita leta su a gladi. No, I want it te talk tu hoku pain. Oh, te talk tu hoku. Pero porque mala tasita mene o lo hoku clamano. I want it ba take we tasita medune do a wimano ba tu dalo. Permit te talk one permit tu dalo tasita meclani. Pagdana mata clean law wallet sita many our made however 10 years ago. Double little color the 10 in Pamalo to Baha Lissosine. Metal Poadagala a do name Bawada, Taki Lotilla a cla, Pagdana mala, Nahuta the soup hold or Atahawaku, a couple Pawane Patu Pato. Double Teta mala, Pacanyon Gala, and Nahu you are glutara lot. Pagdana mala. Let us sit a mekla hujarone, our mirror tenova little namat to talk with Tasita me when a wimaro namat take we Tasita me namat tepro with Tasita me wimaro namara thinilo. Takota came over to me, lana to me, lalani, basana nakira namat to dog killer, a winmara namarate. Do you have the problem or do you have difficulty? Okay, everything you have to take out in your mind and then do it. This is a better thing. You reading the Bible or you doing something for God's sake. This is a great thing. Thank you so much, my friends, my brother and sister. Today, I want to be reading for you more, but I want to finish here. And the Matthew chapter 13, verse 22, related verse, Matthew 19:23, Mark 10:23, Luke 18:24. First Timothy 6:9, 2 Timothy 4, 10, Jeremiah 4:3. Okay, chapter 4, verse 3. This is the author related verse. Now, Pagitata Mala away in Limater, see quick, kisita, Mako to see kisita, no look at sick or kissy Louis, no Timothy, who suffer qui, no Timothy, Louis over sea, no we are Mia, a Louis, a separate Thanilo. Why so giggly Tara Super, Konaniki, God bless his word and then bless us all. Thank you so much, my friends. I will see you next time. Bye bye.